Welcome back to the Microsoft Planner mini course. In this appendix lesson, we will discuss the options that are available if you have a paid Microsoft 365 Copilot license and the Planner agent is enabled. We will discuss how to create the plan and then assign tasks to the agent so that it can help us generate and refine tasks. We'll also talk about how to take files from the SharePoint site to make the information that the AI generates more relevant and accurate. And then at the end of the video, we will discuss how the AI agent can help you generate detailed reports. To get started, go to the Planner application. In the navigation menu on the left side of the screen, click Create a Plan. In the floating dialog box that appears, notice the message on the top left side that says, AI-powered Planner agent is available in all templates. This update means that Planner no longer restricts the agent to specific templates. You can either start from scratch or scroll through the list to find one that matches the project you want to work on. Some of the templates are premium and others are for the basic plan. You may not see all of the options that are on my screen depending on whether or not you have access to premium templates. For this demonstration, I'm going to stick with the basic software development template. When you find one that you want, go to the bottom right corner of the dialog box and click Use Template. Give the plan a name. Under the Share With group, click the drop-down box and select a group to associate the plan with. This is required if you want to use the Planner agent because agent is not available in personal plans. Below the Share With box, notice a checkbox that says Use your group's files to make the AI responses relevant. This allows the agent to use the files in the SharePoint site associated with the group when performing tasks you assign it. Clicking the View Files link takes you to the SharePoint site so you can see what is available. If you uncheck the box here, the files can be turned back on later. One of the reasons you might want to uncheck the box is you could be using the group for multiple projects. The AI agent may use files from a different project to generate information, which could reduce the accuracy of the responses. I'm going to uncheck the box so that later in the video, we can look at how to turn it back on and limit the files to just the relevant ones. Go to the bottom right corner of the dialog box and click Use Template. Now the plan is ready. I would like to draw your attention to the choice pills at the top of the screen. Because we have a paid Microsoft Copilot license and the Planner agent is enabled, we see two new options, Goals and Reports. The first option to explore is Goals. This is a new plan that doesn't have any yet. To create the first one, click the Add a Goal button in the bottom center of the screen. The only required field is the name, such as Research Common Roadblocks for Software Type. Next, we have the option to choose a status from the drop-down list, choose an end date, and connect the goal to an existing task. When Connect Task is selected, a pane opens on the right. Put a check mark in the box next to any relevant task. If you don't see the task you need, the other option is to create a new one. Click Add New Task in the bottom left corner of the goal card and give the task a name. From the goal card, the task can be assigned to a member of the group, and the status, due date, and priority can be set. The remaining task details such as bucket, checklist, and notes will need to be updated from the board view. Now that the plan has one goal, the Add New Goal button has moved to the top right side of the screen just below the Share button. Now we're going to click on the board view to look at another way to associate a goal with an existing task. I would like to create a goal for the Conduct User Testing task in the Design bucket. Select the task card. At the top left side of the Task Details section, just under the title, is the option to connect a goal. Click that field. In the drop-down box is a list of existing goals. In this scenario, we want to create a new one. Select Create Goal at the bottom of the drop-down list. In the describe goal box, I will say create a test plan for the design team, alpha testing. It is possible to set a due date from here, or the date can be assigned later. Click Add. Now that the goal has been created, we can select it from the existing list to associate it with this task. To update any goal information, such as adding a status, you will need to do that on the goals page. While we are in the task card, let's look at the option to assign a task to the planner agent. Click the Assign To field. The option is the first one under Suggestions. When this is selected, the task is added to the agent queue. A tag is added to the Label field to indicate status. It will start as queued and then go to In Progress when the agent starts work on the task. You will also be assigned to the task to review the output. Depending on the level of detail in the task card, it may generate information for you, or it could ask for more details if the information is too generic or insufficient. In this scenario, I intentionally used the generic information from the sample task created by the template. Notice that a new tag pops up that says Needs Input when the agent is done evaluating the task. There's also a new tab called AI Agent Activity. Click that to see what information the agent is asking for. A loop component was created to keep track of the agent activity and your input. In this case, the planner agent has 5 questions and a spot for the answers. All I need to do is answer the questions and then click Regenerate on the top right side of the loop component. Copilot will now evaluate the new information. When it's done, a status message above the loop component will show a summary of what happened. The loop now contains testing plan criteria, suggested questions, and key milestones. You can continue refining the results as well. For example, you can add a comment to the testing process section asking for more detailed information instead of just bullet points. Then click Regenerate again. If you use comments as a way to communicate among team members, that is still possible. It's not just for communicating with the agent. However, it is important to know that any comments you make will be considered when you regenerate activity. The new results are ready. Notice that the 2 original bullet points have descriptions on what to look for and a new suggestion about assigning different roles to make sure all system functionalities are covered. Another way to get better results from the Planner agent is to include files for it to analyze. Notice the Planner icon in the bottom right corner of the screen. Clicking it will open the Planner agent. From here, click Knowledge Sources. When creating the plan, we remove the checkbox from Use SharePoint Files. This is where you will find the option to turn that back on. There is also an option to select specific documents by clicking Add Source. One reason you may choose to include only selected documents is the group contains files for multiple projects on different topics. If the agent considers those files, you may get results that are inaccurate. For example, this group contains files related to a finance team project, and that information should not be considered for the HR project. A dropdown will show a list of available documents. In this example, I will select HR Requirements 2, go back to Add a Source, and select Sample Testing Questions. If you don't see the file you want in the dropdown, or it says no suggested files when you know the files are in the SharePoint document library, it could be due to a little quirk that I discovered. I'm going to open the SharePoint site associated with this group. Notice that there are 2 HR requirement documents, but only one called HR Requirements 2 showed up in the Add a Source dropdown. The one called Requirements 1 was uploaded to SharePoint from my computer. Sometimes the agent won't recognize uploaded files when adding a source. However, it will always find a file when they are created in SharePoint. The workaround I use when I have an existing document on my computer is to create a blank document in SharePoint and then copy and paste the information from the original document on my computer. When we go back to Planner, open the agent and select Add a Source, notice that the generic file called Document that I just created in SharePoint now shows up in the list. Now we're going to look at the reports option. The Planner agent can generate a detailed report based on the reporting period and selected report section. The plan must have at least 10 tasks before you can generate a report. Click the reporting period dropdown. The default is to get a report based on last week. The other choices are 2 weeks, a month, and quarter. Click the Report Sections dropdown. By default, everything is selected, but you can remove a check mark from any option. For example, it might be nice to have the About the Project section the first time, but in future updates, it might not be necessary. Next, click the arrow next to Show More Options. This is where you can provide specific instructions to make the report fit your business process. Include things like audience, formatting, and tone. It is also possible to adjust the length to make it more concise or more detailed. This is a good option to help customize the report for specific audiences. For example, a senior manager may want a concise, high-level update, and the manager guiding the day-to-day work may need more detailed information. For now, I will leave all of the default and click Generate. When the report is ready, you can review it and then decide to keep it or discard. The details are contained in a loop component. This plan was just created for the video, and most of the tasks are the generic ones that came with the template. Therefore, the details are somewhat generic. But as the message says at the bottom, you will get better results by regularly updating and verifying plan details. Updating tasks with specific details, notes, checklist items, and attachments based on the HR software project we've been talking about will result in a more useful report. For the sake of demonstration, I will select Keep It. At the top of the page, just above the loop component, notice the option to share the results as a SharePoint newsletter. Selecting this will create a new SharePoint page associated with the group where the plan lives, and the newsletter template is automatically selected. The next thing on the toolbar is the status dropdown. The report is currently in a draft status. It can be marked as editing, needs review, or completed. Changing the status does not trigger any processes such as an approval workflow. It's more designed to provide information for other plan members. If it says needs review, I know that this information is not ready to share with people outside of the team. The three-dot menu is where the options are hidden for viewing all reports or deleting this selected report. I'm done reviewing this one, so I will click the Close button. To open the report back up, you can either click on the title in the Recent Report section or click the three dots next to the status on the right. That's everything I have for you about the different options you will see inside Microsoft Planner when you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license and the Planner agent is enabled. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.